Good morning, Belize. Welcome to the Tuesday morning edition of the WB Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Tuesday, the 5th of March, 2013. We hope your Tuesday morning is getting off to a beautiful start, and we're most pleased that you have chosen to sit on our bus to get the morning started. There's a seat for you for sure. We invite one and all. As we come to you from 3304 Partridge Street, we call it Battle Zinc, indeed, the House of Commandula. Wake Up Belize time. It's Wake Up Belize morning vibes. I'm Mose Hyde, and I'm flanked, of course, by the lady Sharon Marin Louis. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Mose, and good morning, Belize. How are you, my brother?
You received the memo.
You received it. You signed it too.
All right, great.
So good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, all right.
I'm good. We've got to welcome all the listeners of Krem FM, or viewers of Krem Television, folks who have got us linked on the internet, as well as those getting us via simulcast.
After 27 years, yesterday afternoon, Minister Louis Farrakhan touched down at the PGIA International Airport. His last two visits to Belize were in 1975 and 1986. The press briefing, which was in the itinerary for all media, was not held upon his arrival. But we managed to get a few words from the minister through the fence near the VIP section at the PGIA.
I'm very happy to be back again after 27 years, and I'm looking forward to meeting as many of the people of Belize as possible in the 5 or 6 days that I shall be here with you. I'm honored to be here, happy to see you all, and I'm looking forward to our making, I would say, a contact. You are what I live for.
The minister will remain in Belize for 6 days, during which he will have a packed itinerary. On his agenda are scheduled a meeting with the acting prime minister that was slated for this evening, and meetings with leader of the opposition, students, activists, and inmates. This morning, Minister Farrakhan will be the guest on this show, after which he will pay a courtesy call at the Library of African and Indian Studies. At 2 in the afternoon, there will be a dialogue with community activists and Minister Farrakhan on the importance of participatory democracy in the development of Belize at the University of the West Indies School of Continuing Studies. His major event while in Belize will be a public speech at the Birdsall on Friday, March 8th.
I must say that I owe a deep debt of gratitude to the Caribbean, for the Caribbean gave me my father, my mother. I will never feel that I've done the job that God brought me here to do unless I complete my journey, my life's journey, with some help and guidance to the Caribbean that gave me life.
There's an old saying, for every disappointment, there is a great opportunity. And many people in Belize were surely disappointed in December when the Farrakhan visit was cancelled. Well, Belize, he's on his way back, and not for 3, but for 6 days, March 4 to 9.
There comes a time in every man and woman's life you have to make up your mind, because the future depends on how strong we are with God and how strong we are on the principles of truth. See, when you can say, I fear God, and fear Him alone, you're free.
This time, the minister will address students of the University of Belize in Belmopan, inmates of the Central Prison, meet and dialogue with community activists, leaders of the Mennonite community, and towards Spanish Lookout, address the Muslim community, and returning for his 3rd time to historic Birdsall in Belize City for a major public address.
We have to look in the mirror of truth and recognize that we are not yet free. Real fight is going to have to take place in order for us to be free, and we're going to have to take on power that keeps us in this condition.
Belize, this you won't want to miss. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, known as the universal voice of hope and vision.
All right, it's 10 minutes away from 8 o'clock on this Tuesday morning, and we are here as we call it affectionately, back at the zinc fence on Partridge Street. Myself, Mose Hyde, and Sharon Marin Louis, as we present to you the Wake Up Belize morning vibes. And we started off the show this morning by telling you that this morning was going to be extremely special and different. We started out with two of our Belizean youths actually hosting a portion of our show. And then, to make it an extraordinary morning, we are deeply honored to have a visit from the leader of the Nation of Islam and one of the most prominent voices of consciousness and voices for the grassroots downtrodden on the planet. We are very pleased and honored to have with us the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan here back at the zinc fence. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brother Mose. I'm very, very honored to be here with you and Sister Sharon.
Welcome.
I want to say, as this, our Latin friends would say, on behalf of my father, who is the chairperson of Hyde, and to the entire family of Commandola, mi casa es su casa.
Thank you very much.
I want to say that usually I would find myself, when I have a guest, to be more a journalist and to be an interviewer, an interrogator. But this morning I want to say that this segment of the show, really I and the family of Commandola present to you as a platform for you to speak to all listeners and all viewers and to express yourself on this historic third visit to our country. This compound sits on the over 40 years coming out of the womb of our black revolutionary process. And we now boast of the nation's leading newspaper, the nation's most powerful radio, and definitely most conscious television station. So you're at home, my brother, and it's yours.
Well, first, dear brother and sister, let me say to the wonderful people of Belize, I'm very, very honored and grateful to Almighty God, Allah, for the privilege of being here on my third visit. I didn't realize that I had been away for 27 years. And I want to thank Brother Nuri, Muhammad, and the Muslim community, Brother Irwin and Brother Rahman, for their wonderful invitation to me. And I'm so grateful for the friendship and the brotherhood that I have received. I want you, though, to be the wonderful interrogator, a journalist, because you bring out of me the best of me if you interrogate me. So I don't want there to be a change in the wonderful way you have run your program. I like questions. I like interrogation, because you know the country better than I. You know the needs of the country and the people better than I. So I am here as a servant, and if you help me with your interrogation, then I might say things that I wouldn't ordinarily say. But let me start by saying, usually some would say good morning, but it might not necessarily be a good morning if you woke up this morning and you didn't have a job, or you lost a loved one through some accident or disease. And if it's not a good morning, maybe it won't be a good evening. But the best greeting that I could give to the people of Belize is a greeting word of peace. Jesus Whenever he met his disciples or left his disciples, he always said, "Peace be with you." And that's the best greeting that I could give on my third visit. I offer you peace. Peace means that whatever comes from my lips, from my heart, to increase your knowledge and your ability to solve the complex problems, hopefully, of the country or of your home, to bring black people in particular together in a more loving spirit. And since Belize, since the last time I was here, has become more and more cosmopolitan, more and more people from different parts of the world, then we must, as black people who are the fathers of all people, find a way to bring all our children in the family into unity, and there Belize will become a great power in the region. Now I submit to Brother Mose and Sister Sharon for your questions.
Because of the way things tend to be, Honorable Minister, I did not hear your words that you spoke in Belize in 1986 until last year. I knew you were here in 1986, but I never saw a script. I never heard audio. I never saw video until somebody posted up the video on YouTube. And I listened attentively and watched. And when it was completed, and at that time you were scheduled to be here in December, I said, the Honorable Minister is going to be maybe disappointed because the things you were saying in 1986 that you were advising us to avoid, the traps, the pitfalls, we have, at close inspection, at the state of our nation, we have kind of walked right into them. And I said that would be one of the things that I would ask the Honorable Minister about disappointment. And not only as it relates to just Belize, but you've been on the front line for a very long time, and you've been speaking truth to power for such a long time, and yet we see and we are bombarded with images of our failures, of just not getting it right. How do you look at disappointment? Firstly, in the context of comparing your words in 1986 to where we have gone as a nation, speaking of Belize, and then in a more global sense, knowing what you would have wanted to see your people choose, the direction that people should have gone compared to the choices they have made.
Thank you for the question. Every man that God gives a message to advance a people, our hope is always that the people would hear the message, respond properly to the message, so that the condition that that messenger or that teacher found the people in would be greatly improved. My mother, as a great West Indian mother, always told me, a hard head make a soft behind. So we don't always listen to our teachers. And then there's another factor that we have to consider. Those that are in power, and I'm not speaking necessarily of black government. I'm speaking of those powers that manipulate black government, that keep black governments in debt and therefore enslaved by debt. I'm talking about powerful forces that feel that our rise would produce their fall. So they must always fight against any teacher that will enlighten the people and give the people that power to change the reality of their condition. So in 1986, when I was blessed to be here, I said what I said based upon my understanding of the condition of black people. This time that I'm here, and there has not been significant change, it's due sometimes to our rebellion to do what is right, but it's also due to the powerful opposition to our rise. In the scriptures of the Bible, Jesus said, I have piped to you all the day long, and you have not danced. And I have mourned unto you, and you have not lamented. What is he saying? Well, when I came in the studio, I heard a beautiful Belizean calypso, and I was attracted by the rhythm. And naturally, when you hear the rhythm of calypso, the rhythm of salsa, the rhythm of merengue, you want to move. You can't help yourself. But the rhythm of truth that forces us to change certain realities. The Bible says of us, we're stiff-necked, hard-hearted, and rebellious people. But guess what? That won't last long, because the condition that we are in now is getting worse by the day. The country is sinking into the abyss of poverty and want and violence and bloodshed and hatred and gang conflict. Debt is burdening the government. How long can we survive like this? So again, the Bible in the book of Ezekiel, it talks about these dry bones in the valley. And these bones heard a word from the Son of Man, and these bones just refused to come together. So the Son of Man got upset. He went back to the Lord and said, Lord, I've been talking to these people, and they shake a little, they rattle a little, but they won't come together. And the Lord comforted the Son of Man and said, you prophesy unto the winds, and let the winds blow on these bones. And the winds blew. And the winds are blowing, Brother Mose, the winds of poverty and want and bitter disappointment and neglect. Disease and death is over the people.